by the planning board, such as topography reasons or, stream crossings, unable to, make an ADA compliant sidewalks, things such as that. The cost being too high, they have an opportunity with this text amendment, if approved, in order to come to the planning board with some alternative that still meets the intent of the pedestrian connections overlay.
Any questions for Stacy?
One.
Ms. Foster.
So, and I wanted to bring this up to council rather than just asking Stacy sort of a clarifying question. So when I am looking at the ordinance itself, and specifically, Stacy, because I'm sure you know this like the back of your hand, it's the description of alternative compliance, you guys, and there are several points. What I wanted to bring to everyone's attention was the point 3. It's the developer must provide a recorded easement to the town for the future development of the sidewalk or greenway in accordance with the Greenway and Pedestrian Plan. But here's my question. It says the developer, wherever practical, shall grade for the future development of a sidewalk. Elsewhere, it's sort of described as to who makes calls. I suspect, though, that's kind of legalese, but do we want to make it a little more explicit as to who's going to determine whether it's practical or not?
I think all of that is left with planning board, right? Under what we've set forth. So if we want to make that more explicit, we certainly could. I don't know that we necessarily have to.
Okay. Well, I feel better just you commenting on that, because I read underneath a particular spot where it says it's up to the planning board to make the determination. It just seemed like that was a little odd carve out. So if you're comfortable with it, Bo, I'm comfortable.
Well, I mean, I think we do state that. I mean, there's nothing wrong. There wouldn't be anything wrong with explicitly saying planning board in there. And we can add that if that's council's desire. Certainly that's why we have the public hearing and the motion and consideration. But this is one where we've already determined we're leaving this within planning board hands. So.
Okay.
Any other questions? Very good. Council members, this is for our consideration and our adoption. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Ms. Foster makes the motion. Mr. Smitherman makes the second. Any additional thoughts? Mr. Smitherman.
Aye.
Ms. Welch.
Aye.
Ms. Hunt.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Dr. Sadler.
Aye.
Ms. Foster.
Aye.
Mayor is aye, and that's unanimous. Thank you very much. We have only one administrative report tonight, and Joyce, that's our voluntary annexation.
Yes, I've been examining the information needed for the certificate of sufficiency, and that report will be available to you at the meeting next week.
Very good.
Mayor, I do have one thing to mention, if I could.
Yes, sir.
This came up this week, and I'm just bringing this up. The council to understand what I'm asking or what I'm, talking about here. And certainly I want to get council's blessing on this one. Every year the town has, and we did this year, budget enough money for our group, council, staff, and our police or our sheriff's office contingent to go out and have an appreciation lunch at Christmas time.
Mhm.
This year is not going to happen that way, obviously. What we're asking for, and if council's okay with it, is that since we do have the money budgeted, that we allow for the town staff to have a socially distanced lunch where we will have someone that will come in and provide a Christmas lunch to the town. Again, socially distanced, everybody's going to stay safe. And the money is already budgeted. The expenditure should be much less than what we've seen in the past. But I think that I'm in support of this in our conversation with staff, because over the time, it's been tough working for the staff for it, and we do have the money in the budget for this type of thing. So I would like to see that it make sure certainly that the council does not have a problem with this type of expenditure.
What's our indoor limit? Hank, are you thinking about doing it outdoor?
We'll probably get downstairs, put 10 is the limit. We don't have 10 people, so we would be underneath that and stay 6 feet apart.
Okay.
And this would be just the staff, and just to keep the numbers as low as possible.
Gotcha. This wouldn't include our deputies like it generally
That's
does.
correct.
Okay.
And that's just out of just being as safe as we can.
Council members, your thoughts? Party on, Garth.
David, you have a,
Mr. Smith, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say that I approve it and highly recommend it, and I'm very thankful for everything the staff does, and they deserve this.
Ms. Hunt.
Yeah, I was going to echo exactly what David said. Since in the past there has been deputy involvement, would it make sense to create some type of similar environment over at Annex for them? Just a thought. I don't know.
I don't know. We hadn't thought about it. We were just trying to keep our group size as small as possible.
Yep, makes
But
sense.
If council would like us to investigate something like that where we could recognize them somehow, we certainly will.
Ms. Hunt, I think it's a great idea. Absolutely.
Thank you.
I just will, I feel compelled to make one comment. So do I have any problem with the expenditure? Absolutely not. Do I have any problem honoring the staff and giving them an opportunity to just let down and share and break bread with one another? Absolutely not. Do I have a problem? Deputies in a separate environment? Same. I just wonder what the health director might say. I understand that there are limits that the governor has, but a lot of the outbreaks have been born out of small groups gathering. So I just.
Yeah, we can touch that, and I don't want to, this to end up getting into too deep of a discussion, but this group works together on an ongoing basis. And while we don't sit every night at the dinner table with each other, we do have a pretty good amount of constant contact on a daily basis. So I understand where you're talking about it, but we also consider this almost like your immediate family.
So you're a bubble, basically.
That's right. I think so.
Thank you. That helps.
Very good. Taking a look at our agenda for next week. Of course, it's our approval of our minutes. Ms. Walker, thank you very much for sending those out. Our finance report. Pam, are there any surprises?
No, everything's going fine.
We're still $557,000 fatter, right?
I'm still waiting on LGC approval, but I think it's going to turn out to be that.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. If PJ is up for it and can get the numbers, we'll have a public safety report.
Yep.
His 10-day curfew ends the day of our meeting, or his 14-day, curfew ends the day of our meeting. So if he can get in and get it prepared, he will do it. If not, we'll pass on it until January. Pam, you have just an introduction to make next week for our auditor.
Yes, as I said, I'm still waiting on LGC approval of our audit, but I'm hoping it will come through by next Thursday. And if we do get approval, then Gibson and Company will join us in the Zoom meeting to present the annual audit.
Very good. Very good. We are at the point, ladies and gentlemen, we are continuing the public hearing that we had last week for the Downtown Overlay District. And this is information and adopting the official map of our downtown overlay. Dr. Sadler indicated, as you remember, that folks get ample notice to be able to attend, and we determined that they may not have done that because of holidays. So we continued the public hearing until this evening. Stacy, you want to just, I'm sorry?
This is next week.
Yeah, that's right. It's on next week.
I get confused too, Mayor.
So we're not going to do that tonight. And we're just going to move on. Folks, does Stacy need to provide us with any refresher tonight so that we know what we have? I think we're pretty clear.
Next week, I'll go back through everything since it's been at least a month since we've talked about it last, and to reopen the public hearing and everything. I'll go back through everything next week.
And Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd asked Stacy one-on-one just if she had heard from anyone, just out of curiosity. Stacy, you want to just?
I have not.
Okay.
No, but the letters did go out, well, prior to last month's meeting, like we talked about. And so they were, given notice of the meeting, and I told them that, please call me with any questions. We just want to make sure they understand what's happening to their property and everything like that. And I haven't heard anything, so.
Very good. Thank you. All righty. New business. Ms. Walker, you want us to approve the calendar with your November change, is that correct?
Yes, yes, because Stacy will need to make sure that everything we have on our calendar will be good for her development calendar.
Very good. So that'll occur. We'll have a final report on our voluntary annexation certificate. I think that's it. So with,
I've got.
yes, sir,
a
I'm sorry, Mr.
question on that
Franklin.
one. Yeah, I got a question on that one. Will we be approving the annexation, or does that then, if the petition is good, do we have to advertise it and hold public hearing and all that? I've forgotten. It's been a while since somebody approached us.
Yes, we will, and I will be coinciding all of my public hearing information along with Stacy. So whenever the planning board has an opportunity to go through their format, then whenever they set their public hearing date, that's the date I will set our public hearing for the annexation.
Very good.
Thank you.
And Mayor, as you mentioned earlier, I wanted to add an item.
Right. I was just getting to you. Ms. Foster, you have an item you'd like to add to the agenda for next week?
I'm looking to the group. It's for the board and committee update on the survey that we'll be working on. And I'm assuming that would go under unfinished business. Where does that go, Joyce, Mayor?
That can go under, since you've been doing it for such a long time and giving updates, it could be old business or unfinished, either or.
Ms. Walker, it'll be your choice.
Oh, thank you.
Ms. Welch.
Question, please. Yes, Jean Marie, is there a deadline on when all that information will be gathered?
We'll tell you next week.
Okay.
We
I didn't know if the committees and boards have been given a deadline or not.
No. The first step is to get the survey out to them so that they can provide some input. And then that would come back to council. We were hoping that perhaps part of it we could share at the retreat.
Great. So they will be informed to please have it back then before the
Given a
retreat.
deadline for the survey.
Right.
Okay, that's what I was after.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Great. So with those two additions, do we have a motion to approve the
I
agenda? for next week?
got one more question.
Yes, sir, Mr. Franklin.
Under, I guess it's 6 there, are we planning a closed session for next week?
Yes, sir, we are.
Okay, that's all I wanted to ask.
Very good. Is there a motion to approve our agenda for next week? Mr. Smitherman makes the motion. Mrs. Welch makes the second. Any discussion? Mr. Smitherman,
Aye.
Ms. Welch,
Aye.
Ms. Hunt,
Aye.
Ms. Mr. Franklin,
Uh,
Dr. Sadler,
Aye.
Ms. Foster,
She's muted.
Ms. Foster.
Aye.
Aye. And the mayor is aye. That's unanimous. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are, is there anything else that the council wishes to discuss this evening before we go into closed session? We will remind you, if you will go to your Facebook page, Town of Louisville, and we will have our tree lighting ceremony this evening. Our council members will join us in the square. As we've reminded everybody, please do not come to the square this evening. We unfortunately can't let you in. We're probably sadder about it than you are, but you can watch us certainly on Facebook Live. It should be a great time for all, to make sure the kids are in front of the screen, because we have a nice visitor coming to have a chat with them as well. And then of course we'll rebroadcast this on Cable 6 and on our website all between now and Christmas.
Okay. If everybody wants to take a break, it'll take me about 5 minutes to shut things down for the closed session once
Well,
we declare it.
You gotta wait till we make the motion.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we will not have any business after we come out of closed session. The council will not take any actions. We won't have any discussion. We will come out of closed session and have an adjournment of the meeting. Very good. So Bo, will you please lead us into the reason for the closed session?
Yes, this will be a closed session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318-11A3 to consult with your town attorney, to consult with an attorney employed or retained by the public body in order to preserve the attorney-client privilege between the attorney and the public body, which privilege is hereby acknowledged.
Very good. Is there a motion, please, to go into closed session?
So moved.
Mr. Franklin makes the motion. Ms. Foster makes the second. Mrs. Hunt almost got there. Any further discussion? Very good. Mr. Smitherman,
Aye.
Ms. Welch,
Aye.
Ms. Hunt,
Aye.
Dr. Sadler,
Aye.
Mr. Franklin,
Ah.
Ms. Foster.
Aye.
Mayor is aye also. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you next week, and hopefully we'll see you at 7:30 tonight for our traditional holiday tree lighting ceremony. Okay, we are back up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. As we said, we're not going to take any votes or take any actions right now, but we will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion.
Ms. Hunt makes the motion. Mr. Smitherman makes the second. Very good. Any further discussion? Mr. Smitherman,
Aye.
Ms. Welch,
Aye.
Ms. Hunt,
Aye.
Dr. Sadler,
Aye.
Ms. Foster,
Aye.
Mr. Franklin,
Ah.
Mayor's aye. Ladies and gentlemen, we adjourn. We'll see you in a little over 25 minutes. See you soon.